Okay, we're going to now calculate the equations of tangents. We're going to use the fact that the gradient is dy dx, and we're going to use our old formula that if we've got a point on a line, so x1, y1, and if we know the gradient is m, then the line is y minus y1 equals m outside of x minus x1. So what have we got? We've got a curve, y equals cos x. We've got the x coordinate of the point, so we've got x1. So we need to find y1. We need to find the corresponding y value for that x value. And we need to calculate the gradient of this curve at x equals 5/6. So we've got everything there that we can do. We just have to go through it step by step. So our first step is to find out what y1 is. Well, this is x1, is 5/6. So when x equals 5/6, y equals cos x, and y equals cos of 5/6. Now this goes back to unit circle, and it also means we need to know what the cos of 5/6 is. So unit circle, and we've got CAST. Now where is 5/6? Well, out here is pi, and pi is the same as pi on 1, which is 6/6. So up there is 5/6. So all the way around to there is 5/6. We want the cos of 5/6. Cos in this quadrant here is negative, and that'll, before we do that, we can go cos of 6/6 minus pi/6. 6/6, which is pi, minus pi/6 will give me 5/6. It's in the second quadrant. Cos is negative, so it's negative cos of pi/6. So there's a simplification for that. And you say, oh, pi/6, I know that. That's this triangle, and that's 1, 2, √3. This is pi/3. And this is pi/6. So the cos of pi/6 is √3/2. So that's minus √3/2. Okay, now we'll leave it in terms of √3/2 rather than work it out as a decimal, and give our answer in exact form. So we've got cos, we've got the y value. So now my x1, y1 is the point 5/6 and minus √3/2. Okay, so now we're going to have to find the gradient. So m is dy dx. So we need to do dy dx is equal to derivative with respect to x. What is y? Y is equal to cos x. The derivative of cos is equal to negative sine x. So at x, we want to know what is the value of the gradient when x is equal to 5/6. When x is equal to 5/6, dy dx, which is our gradient, will be equal to negative sine of 5/6. Okay, we go back to our unit circle again. We want to find out what is minus the sine of 5/6. If we go back to this, we know it's in this quadrant and sine is going to be positive, but don't forget about this negative. So let's work out what the sine of 5/6, and then put the negative in front. So the sine of 5/6 is the sine of pi minus pi on 6. That's 6 pi on 6 minus pi on 6, which is 5 pi on 6. So that is the second quadrant. Sine is positive, so it's just equal to the sine of pi on 6. Sine of pi on 6 is 1 on 2. So the sine of 5 pi on 6 is equal to 1 over 2. So negative that is equal to negative a half. Okay, and now that is going to be the gradient at x equals 5 pi on 6. So now I can put it all together. I've got y minus y1 equals m outside of x minus x1. Y minus y1 is negative root 3 on 2 equals m is negative a half outside of x minus, what is x1? x1 is equal to 5 pi on 6. Need a little bit more room. Let's remove this, both brackets, so y plus root 3 on 2 is equal to minus a half x plus 5 pi on 12. So if I multiply through by a half there, negative a half, and we get that. So we want to get y by itself, so that'll be equal to minus a half x plus 5 pi on 12. Now we bring that over, it'll become minus root 3 on 2, but we've got to make them both the same denominators. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by 6, so that'll be 12, 6 root 3. So I've multiplied top and bottom here by 6, so when it goes over, I've both got denominators of 12. So minus a half x plus 5 pi minus 6 root 3 all over 12. So that's my c value. That's my m value. So y equals negative a half x plus 5 pi minus that 6 root 3 all over 12. And that could be worked out as a decimal. Just to get a little bit of a handle on what that looks like, if we had y equals cos x between 0, so and 2 pi, pi will be where it's down the bottom. I might put that down the bottom. Put that down there. So it's going to cut there and there. And where is, so that's pi, where is 5 pi on 6? 5 pi on 6 is just a little bit before pi, so 5 pi on 6. If I drew the tangent to that point, there it is there. And so we have calculated the equation of that tangent drawn at that point. You can see certainly anything less than pi, up all the way up here, all the way here, it's going to have a negative gradient. So negative a half x, if we calculate that, that would be where that would cut the y-axis. So quite difficult with the numbers, but the concepts are fairly straightforward.